Breaking news in the Rock feed, a new bill that is almost certain to pass could land YouTubers and streamers in jail if they play copyrighted material for profit in their videos. Well, we told you recently about a bill that was being put forth that could have serious implications for YouTubers and Twitch streamers. This by lobbyists in the entertainment industry who think it should be a felony to stream copyrighted material for profit on platforms like YouTube and Twitch. Now, how this will be applied legally, we don't know. But what we do know now at this hour for a fact is that this bill now at this time will almost certainly pass, because it's been attached to the omnibus bill that is COVID relief. Naturally, the COVID relief bill is very popular because it brings much needed assistance to people who are out there who have lost their jobs and lost wages, as well as the entertainment industry as a whole. But an omnibus spending bill means that there are a bunch of different things crammed into the bill that have nothing to do with the initial intention of the bill. That's just how our government works. So here this bill is being inserted into the package, and it could have damning implications for streamers and YouTubers. And thus far, we haven't heard anything out of YouTube. And this isn't clickbait, this isn't a stretch, this is very real. And I'm going to go over to Scarce, who has commented on this on Twitter, where he shared the following. He says, the bill that would make streaming copyrighted content for profit a felony is actually being passed. It was sneaked into the COVID-19 relief bill that was voted on today. Some streamers and YouTubers would now need to worry about jail time if the copyright holder pursues you. Listen, there's a gray area when it comes to fair use, and most content creators who use copyrighted content in their streams and videos will probably not be affected, but this is still deeply concerning. There's a reason people fought against this bill in 2011 and succeeded. For some reason, it was tacked onto the COVID-19 relief bill to, quote, help the entertainment industry during the pandemic. Now, Scarce says, I don't usually tweet about stories anymore, but this is just too ridiculous not to talk about. Congress only had a few hours to vote on the entire relief bill that was, quote, 5,000 pages long. So this story, there is more in the Hollywood Reporter, and we're going to get to that in just a moment because there's so much to go over this. But this story that was just published talks about the COVID-19 bill, how it's packed in there, and how it's still potentially going to be voted on. And it does look almost certain that this COVID relief bill is going to pass. They have been trying to get this bill passed for years, and it was fought against back in 2011 when a Democrat proposed it, and now there's a Republican sponsor. And this just exemplifies how the lobbying process is so damaging, because they've been seemingly aggressively pursuing this for quite some time. So the Hollywood Reporter has full details on this. It says the COVID-19 stimulus bill would make illegal streaming a felony. Congress looks to provide relief to small businesses, but the omnibus bill includes some legislative priorities for the entertainment industry as well. Providing relief via direct assistance and loans to struggling individuals hit hard by COVID has been a priority for federal lawmakers this past month, but gigantic spending bill has become the opportunity to smuggle in some other line items, including those of special interest to the entertainment industry. Perhaps most surprising, according to the text of the bill being circulated, illegal streaming for commercial profit could become a felony. Now, let me just explain to you what this means. If a band sends me their material and I don't have the permission of 15 different songwriters and the record label who owns the master, and I play it, now if I do this in good faith, I have to hope and pray that they don't come after me and they don't pursue me and they don't say that I had bad intentions and I'm not charged with a crime. Now, I understand the likelihood of that seems unlikely on its face, but look back over the years, the things that we never thought would happen that have since happened. For instance, the idea that there would be entire industries dedicated to claiming videos, the fact that your own musicians who wrote and recorded songs can't even upload their own videos because these bottom-feeding leeches are just going after them and claiming them for the revenue. YouTube doesn't know how to deal with it, and I'm shocked and stunned at this point. When I did a video about this a week ago, and major media outlets have been talking about this, that we haven't heard anything from YouTube on this. And this is what YouTube needs to do. They need to aggressively defend their creators through something like this, because we all know when bills like this pass, they can be abused and they can be misused, and that is almost certainly what could happen here in at least a couple of cases. Now, it goes on to say it's been less than 2 weeks since Senator Thom Tillis released his proposal to increase the penalties for those who would dare stream unlicensed works. In doing so, the North Carolina Republican flirted with danger about a decade ago. Democrat Senator Amy Klobuchar, Thom Tillis is a Republican, apparently screwing over content creators is a bipartisan issue. She made a similar proposal in 2011 before it ended up dying as people worried about sending Justin Bieber to jail. No, seriously, because Bieber spoke out about this very aggressively. It says, but Tillis's attempt has been winning better reviews for more narrowly tailoring the proposal towards commercial operators rather than users. That said, it's had very little time to circulate before evidently becoming part of the spending package. If passed, illegal streaming of works, including movies and music tracks, could carry a penalty of up to 10 years in jail. This isn't clickbait. This is from The Hollywood Reporter, a very well-respected publication. It says, that's not the only change to copyright law either. The spending bill also appears to adopt a long-discussed plan to create a small claims adjudication system within the U.S. Copyright Office. What that means, in case you're wondering what this garbage means, is that it'll be easier, because it's in small claims court, for record labels and lobbying groups to take you into a small claims court. It'll cost them less to sue you. It'll be easier for them to sue you. It may be cheaper for you to defend yourself as well, but this content ID system that you're dealing with them through email and you're kind of working it out in an ambiguous sense, nope, that's going to be gone. We're all going to be fucking spending $1 million on defending ourselves in a court as well. This is really jarring. Advocates have long sought to give copyright owners some recourse to infringement outside of the expensive federal court system, though the so-called CASE Act has engendered some pushback from those weary of throwing certain disputes to unaccountable bureaucrats working for an agency suspected of favoring the industry. Some critics believe the alternative dispute system to be unconstitutional, though by making the system opt-in and non-compulsory, advocates hope that it will survive any legal challenge and ultimately lead to swifter resolution over takedown notices for copyright material posted online. And I know that that's making it sound good, but I guarantee you this will tip in the favor of those who are going after creators. No creator wants to end up in court over a bullshit thing that this makes the content ID system, which is a nightmare, look like a walk in the park. It says, among the other parts of the omnibus bill of interest to Hollywood is an extension of Section 181, a tax provision that allows for immediate deduction of the television and production costs up to $15 million. Now, I am appreciative of the aid that they're talking about giving to these venues that are struggling and things like that, but this other stuff is bullshit. It's insane, the fact that more people aren't speaking out about it, something that is about to pass, and once it's passed, it's not open for interpretation. Even if they put the bill or the law forward with the best of intentions, it can still be exploited and abused. So it's a shame that at this point, this is probably going to pass and they're probably going to get away with passing this bill. And it's a shame that for years from now, we're going to be talking about how this happened, how this went down, and we're going to watch the entertainment industry probably fold and abuse people more than they already have at this point. I'm furious about this. This is just a damn shame that something like this, you know, the law could be used in this way, and lobbyists are able to push for laws like this to be made. Criminal punitive damages pushed by the entertainment industry. Real shitty situation right now that I'll keep you guys updated on as best as I can. And thanks so much for joining me today at Rockfeed. If you're new here, you can subscribe with notifications on. Maybe, just maybe, you might enjoy one of these clips. Join me on Instagram and Spotify for news you may not find here. And if you really want to do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. It's the best way to support.